Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Chatatputra Parasharam Cha Shukam Gaudapadam Muhantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Chahastamalakam Chashishyam Tam Todakam Vartikakara Manyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purana Namalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. 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 Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Paranatosmyaham. 251. Mritkaryam sakalam gatadi satatam minmatramevahitam tadvat sanjanitam sadatmakamidam sanmatramevakilam yasman nasti sadaparam kimapi tad satyam sa atma swayam tasmat tattvamasi prashantamamalam brahmatvayam yat param. In this verse, just like the Gata Adi Sakalam Vritkaryam, all parts are nothing but the mud. Minmatrameva abhitaha, everywhere, every side it is nothing but abhitaha in the Bhashya here, minmatrameva ahitam, minmatrameva ahitam, everything placed only in the mud alone. In the same way, Tattvat Sajjanitam, born out of Sat alone, everything, Sadatmakam, not only born out of Sat, it is of the nature of Sat. Idam Sanmatrameva Akilam. Everything is nothing but the pure Sat alone. Yasmana Asti Sataha Param. Other than the Sat, there is nothing beyond that. Kimapitat. Whatever it be. So, Satyam Sa Atma Swayam. Swayam Atma Sat Swarupam. Tasmat, therefore, Tattvam Asi. You are that Prashanta Mamalam, that which is peaceful and pure. Brahma Advayam Yat Param. That which is Advayam, non-dual Brahman alone you are. So here, the intent of the verse is to show that other than Sat Sarupa Atma, there exists nothing else. That is the idea here. And this Tattvamasi Vakya, which is Mahavakya, and even though there are hundreds of Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi is said to be the instruction, Upadesha Vakya. There are 4 statements: Prajnanam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, Sattvamasi, and Aham Brahmasmi. In this first one, that is Prajnanam Brahma, is introduction to nature of consciousness, and that is a statement of fact. It is like fire is hot. Fire is hot is what? It's a statement of fact. The same way, Brahma, Prajnanam. Brahma is Prajnanam. Consciousness is Brahman. And it is called B is equal to C. Brahman is consciousness. The next one is I am Atma Brahma. That Brahman is Atman. So A is equal to B. So what is that then? A is equal to B equal to C. One person called his math teacher. I don't know whether you have heard this. He called his math teacher. He's already 25, 30. He's working in some place. He said, you taught me A square plus B square to A square. That, what is the formula?
Hypotenuse triangle.
Huh?
Hypotenuse. Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah. So what is A square?
A square plus B square plus 2AB.
No, A square plus C square.
Oh, that depends on what you are
Oh, that's the
doing.
Pythagorean
Whether
theorem.
you're doing the...
Oh, he's talking that theorem.
Yes, he's talking.
Pythagorean theorem.
He said, in my life, I have many, many problems. And the person said, who called his teacher, I never know where to use this A square plus B square, because does it solve my problem of everyday life? Does it solve the old age? Does it solve my problems with my wife? Does it solve my problem with my boss? Does it solve the problem with my neighbor? Does it give me extra salary? Does it give me some time for vacation? So he said, no. Then why did you insist so much that I learned this by heart? This not only this sine plus cos. I never understood why I had to go through the torture of learning this, where it is not solving any problem. You said it will solve problem. It never solved any problem. Why did that come here?
This is
A
not
is
like
equal
that.
to B is equal to C.
I know, but why did... correct, A.
This is not
So that is B is equal to C. That is Brahman equal to consciousness. What is Brahman? A is equal to B. Right? So A is equal to B is equal to C. Then A is equal to C only. So Prajnanam Brahma, B is equal to C. Ayam Atma Brahma, A is equal to B. Then Tattvamasi. So Upadesha Vakya is to say, if you have understood what is Prajnanam Brahma and Ayam Atma Brahma, then you will understand what is Tattvamasi also. That A is equal to C. Then the student says, yes, I am C. Aham Brahmasmi. I am B. So B is equal to C, statement number 1. A is equal to B, statement number 2. Therefore, A is equal to C. Therefore, A is equal to B. Right? No. Therefore, A is equal to
C.
A is equal to B. I am Brahmasmi.
A equal to B.
A is equal to B. That is first itself said. A, B, second statement. B is equal to C. A is equal to B. A is equal to C. Therefore, A is equal to B equal to C. Right? That is called Mahavakya. So earlier also, Evam Mahavakya Shadena Katyade Brahmatmanoho Aikyam Akhanda Bhava. In verse number, that is 2 verses before. All right. Now, what about the world? Having explained nature of Brahman is Sat and that alone is there. But I have to deal with this world in everyday life. So that is taken up here in the next verse. Nidra kalpita desha kala Vishayajñatradi sarvam yata Mithya tadvadiha bijagrati jagat Swajnana karyatvatah Yasmadevamidam sharira karana Pranahamadhyapyasat Tasmat tattvamasi prashantamamalam Brahmadvayam yat param Nidra kalpita desha kala vishayajñatradi sarvam yata Mithya tadvadihapi jagrati jagat Swajnana karyatvatah Yasmadevamidam sharira karana pranahamadhyat sat Tasmat tattvamasi prashantamamalam Brahmadvayam yat param Tatsmat tattvamasi. That's the final statement. Last line. Tasmat tattvamasi. It is similar to previous verse. Brahm prashantamamalam. You the peaceful, pure, Brahma advayam yat param. That non-dual Brahman which is supreme. Right. Now, example of the dream is taken. Nidra kalpita. During the time of dream, what is imagined? Desha, kala, vishaya, jnatru. Jnatru means knower. The time, the space, desha and kala, space and time, vishaya, object, jnatru means the knower of all these things, adi sarvam yata mithya. Right? Obviously, when you wake up only, we come to realize that whatever I experienced during the state of dream, even though I was perceiving it so intensely, I had no doubt while I am experiencing this dream that it is dream. In the same way, tadvat ihapi, even now, jagrati, at the state of waking, jagat swa ajnana karyatvatah, created in the same way out of ignorance. Now, we consciously go into the state of forgetting our state of waking, which is called dream. We know that we are going into a state of dream. Whether we are liking it or not, it happens, no doubt. But we get into the state of dream in which we are going to lose our wakeful state or wakerhood. We know that we are going to lose our wakerhood. And we are not actually unhappy about it. Are you unhappy that you are going to lose this wakerhood? No. I am going to lose my wakeful state. Knowingly we enter into the dream, and where we create all the desha, kala, vishaya, and also we create ourselves as the dreamer who is the jnata. Jnatru. Jnatru means one who knows, one who watches. So now, when we thus come out of the dream and come to realize that that state was experienced by me upon losing my wakeful awareness, and went into dream state. In the same way, this world also is in the same manner only when you lose your ajnana state. Because it is created by ajnana. That's why swa ajnana karyatvata. This is ajnana karyam. Forgetfulness of swa. Swa ajnana means what? Swajnana. Swa atma ajnana. That's called swajnana. Swa means here atma. Atma ajnanavataha, meaning ajnanavataha, meaning this fifth case ajnanatvat, and or from the ajnanam of one's own self, this jagat is created. Now, how many of us are ready to lose this wakeful state which we considered as real? And when the Vivekachoodamani says, this is a state created by your ignorance, we are not ready to accept. We think dream is created out of ignorance, but this is also created out of ignorance. This is also a state of ignorance. So, unless the attempt to overcome this forgetfulness, and this very process of letting go of this world of experience created out of our ignorance about the self, which is called meditation. This is the next topic is meditation. What to do in meditation? That's what he's going to take up. It's a prelude for this. So, ajnana karyatvataha jagat, caused by the ajnana, this jagat, jagrati, in the state of waking, iha api tadvat. This is also, it is the same only here. Like dream. If you understand that, since yasmat, evam idam sharira karana prana aham adi api asat. Asat, unreal indeed. What all those things which are asat here, which is created during the waking state for me to hold on and experience? Sharira, body. Karana, indriyani. Antakarana also. Prana, aham, adi. All of them. So all the various layers of my personality, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Sarvam Asat. Now, interesting thing is it not that in the beginning stage we did the Panchakosha Viveka? Annamaya is not Pranamaya, Pranamaya is not Manomaya, all that exercise is for what? Only to tell them finally, pull the carpet and then none of them are true. But it is necessary for us to go through all that. What is, we elaborately saw what is Annamaya Kosha, elaborately we looked at it, what is Pranamaya Kosha, what is Vijnanamaya Kosha, what is Manomaya Kosha, what is Karana Sharira. Only to show that none of them are really you. This is na iti, na iti, na idam, na idam. This is necessary to go through that to arrive at what is. That exercise is unavoidable. Yasmad evam idam sharira karana prana aham adi api asat. Tasmad, therefore, tattvamasi. You are that. You are what? You are that Brahman alone, which have been pointed out by the. So here, beautiful explanation is given in the Bhashya. Swa ajnana karyatvataha. Swasya ajnanam swajnanam. Nishprapancha swarupa avarakam Mula Ajnanam Tat Karyatvat. Because the entire thing is coming from the root cause of ignorance. So, Prabodhe Apratiyamanattvat. When one is dreaming, upon waking up, one does not see. Nidra Rupa Dosha Janyatvat. It is born out of during the state of sleep or dream. Drishtanashta Swarupatvacha Yatamitya. Now, interesting thing is, Uktam hi yat bodhadidam bhadi, yat abodhadidam bhadi, tat bodhad hi nivartate, minivartate. This is a beautiful statement. What is created out of absence of knowledge, upon knowledge, it will disappear. Yat abodhad idam bhadi. Due to absence of knowledge, what appears? Yat bodhat minivartate. Only upon knowing it will go away. So, importance of knowledge, importance of knowing. Otherwise, the whole scripture we have been seeing in Bhagavad Gita also, there is an argument about what is the relevance of scriptures. There, the Purvapakshi is asking, what is the relevance of scriptures? If everything is false, what is the need for the Shastra study? Because it's not necessary then. So he says very clearly, so long as you remain in the Ajnana Bhumi, you don't even know that you are in the Ajnana Bhumi. It is like a person who is dreaming, does not know he is dreaming until somebody wakes him up. If that person who is not dreaming outside him does not come to wake him up, will he ever come out of it? Of course, he will come out of it. In the case of dream, we are forced to come out of it. That's a different thing. But if, let us say, that dream continues unless he wakes up. So, unless somebody comes and wakes you up, you will never come out of it. Let us say, in that case, what will happen? Do you think that person who is ready to wake him up is irrelevant to you? It appears irrelevant. Why? Because I'm enjoying this dream. Enjoying or suffering. So even when I'm enjoying or when I'm suffering, if there is no way I can come out of it, or I don't know how to come out of it, then what will be my condition? And you look around, everybody is the same. I'm also suffering, this person is also suffering. And everybody is enjoying, I'm also enjoying. So there's nothing wrong. Until somebody comes and says, both the joy and sorrow, both are false. No, why not we keep only one right, another one wrong? Why not we keep joy as real and keep the suffering as unreal? Why not you be so considerate? When it is dream, not one is real and another is unreal. Both are equally unreal. So it includes Sharira, Prana, Indriyani, Vanaha, Buddhi, Ahankar, is sub, all of them are asat. Nothing is, other than Atman, nothing is really true. Therefore, yat abodhadidam bhadi, tat bodhat vinivartate. Yatra swasya sarvam atma eva abhut. When one has realized and everything is nothing but the self, tat kena kampashyet. This is a beautiful statement from Prakadaranya Upanishad. A person who comes to know everything is self, what will he see? By what? Kena kampashyet. What will he see? What will he experience? Yat ajnana prabhavena drishyate sakalam jagat. Due to the power of the ajnanam, the world is seen. Yat jnanat layam apnodi. When by knowledge, when it is comes to become completely seized, tasmai jnanatmane namaha. To that self which is of the nature of pure knowledge, my salutations. Iti. Jnate dvaitam na vidyate. Upon knowing the truth, there cannot be any duality. Iti Mandukya Karikayascha. This way Mandukya Karika also says, Yasmadevam Jagat Mithya Idam Sharira Karana Prana Ahamadi Api Tvaya Purvam Atmatvena Abhimadam. Earlier you thought that it is all self, Sharira Indriya Prana Hankaradikam Api Asat Badhyam. To be falsified. Mithya Bhutam. Tasmat Prashantam Amalam Advayam. Yat Param Brahma Tat Eva Asti Tvam. Iti Purvapat. Now, one verse here is not there in the Bhashya, but here we find in the CCMD book. We read that, that is 253. Yatra Brantya Kalpidam Tat Viveke.
Yatra bhantya kalpitam tad viveke.
Tattan matram naiva tasmat vibinnam.
Tattan matram naiva tasmat vibhinnam.
Swapne nashte swapna vishvam vichitram.
Swapne nashte swapna vishvam vichitram.
Swasmat binnam kinnu drishtam prabodhe.
Swasmat vinnam kinnu drishtam prabodhe.
Yatra brantya kalpidam tad viveke. Tattan matram naiva tasmat vibinnam. Swapne nashte swapna vishvam vichitram. Swasmat pinnam kinna drishtam prabodhe. Yatra.
The second line for here says yattan matram.
Tattan matram.
Yattan.
Oh, it's written in Yattan matram. Okay. New book. New editions, new always something different. Yatra, where Brantya Kalpidam, due to delusion, what is created, Tat Viveke Tat Matram, where upon the Viveka, upon doing the Vichara, discrimination, Tat Matram, and then it is known as only that. Only that means what? Only the reality. Naiva tasmat vibinnam. It is never different from that. As upon knowing that it is only rope, before he was seeing the snake, now he comes to know it as a rope. Now he understands, even when I was seeing it as snake, it was only rope. Right? Even when I was thinking it was a snake, not that it was a snake at that time and now it became rope. No. Even when I was looking at it as a snake, it was rope only. In the same way, Mahatmas, when they look at the world and upon realization, what they say, even when I did not know, it was truth only. That's why Ramana Maharshi, when he was asked, what was your past before? And I said, why do we talk about that foolishness? Because it is a foolish existence. At that time, whatever I thought of the world, about me, about my problems, about how false they are. How they are so unreal. It is as good as sitting and thinking about on the 18th night, what was the dream? What relevance you have got now? What relevance it has got right now? Because you know that it has no reality, and thinking about it, it doesn't create new realities, and it does not create new experience by thinking about that. That's why I hate looking at these albums. All bums. You remember this? When I was standing there, you were looking at this, and such a waste of time. So, tattan matram na eva tasmat binnam. When swapne nashte, when the dream is destroyed, Swapna Vishwam Vichitram Sasmat Binnam Kinnu Drishtam Prabodhe. Swapne Naste, when a dream has ended, Swapna Vishwam Vichitram, whatever is seen in the dream as the world, Swasmat Abhinnam. Abhinnam is written or Abhinnam? Swasma, here it is Swasma Abhinnam. It is no different from the person who is watching the dream. Is the dream world outside you? Somewhere? I know, in the VR it is possible. It looks like outside. Let's say waterfall is what you are seeing. Let me touch it. There will be nothing there. Because it is created here. So to dream whatever is created is not different from Swasmat Abhinnam. Not different from you. Kinnu Drishtam Prabodhe. So, in the same way, upon waking, a person who is waking from this reality, can he see anything other than himself? He doesn't see anything other than himself. That is the reason why such a person was realized will be so peaceful and quiet, because nothing other than him exists. See, like in sleep, nothing other than you exists. Now, how peaceful you are. Do you have any problem with anybody? In fact, anybody has any problem with you afterwards? That's why in 12th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna says, Yasman na udvichate lokaha, lokat na udvichate. Nobody has problem with him, and he creates no problem with anybody. Why? Because that doesn't exist. See, if this is taken very seriously, I'm telling you, such an amount of peace comes to our mind that other than me, nothing exists. So, who are we, whatever it be, whatever they are, because they don't exist. We must start reprogramming ourselves. Swasmat binnam na kintu drishtam kinnu. What is there to see other than oneself? Prabodhe swasmat binnam kinnu drishtam. One upon waking, what else to see? Na anyat pashyati, na anyat shrunodi, na anyat janadi. He doesn't see anything. When Sri Ramana Maharshi, he most of the time he was all by himself, and so blissful he was sitting there. And he opens his eyes, and this, obviously the people who come and see him, I think he's looking at me. Everybody thinks that he's looking at me. He is just as though there is nobody there. You should see his picture sometime. There is nobody there. In his eyes, there is a blank. Blank in the sense what? He is not looking at anyone in particular. But his eyes are so powerful. But if you look at him directly, he directly look at Atman only. So powerful. So even if you go to the place, I still remember one place I again and again would like to visit is the place where he used to sit down. It's a small room, little bigger than this, where there is a place where he used to lie down. That place is so powerful. If you are going to India, you should go there and sit there for at least half of the day, a minimum. When you sit there, you are lost. You are not there. You will not be there.
Where is this?
It is a place, Tiruvannamalai. It is in near Chennai, 3 hours from Chennai or 3 hours from Bangalore. It's midpoint. It's a place where Tiruvannamalai is the place where he stayed in an ashram. And that place is visited by a lot of people every day. A lot of foreigners come, a lot of people come there. Those who have studied his texts. And usually, that's one place where I found, in general, everybody is very quiet. Nobody would talk much. And not that they don't want to talk, but they would like to experience the inner silence. So hardly people converse. So they just quietly do their work. Food is served 3 times a day. And most people may not know this particular place I'm talking about. When I went years back, it was such a peaceful, that particular room. Not his samadhi. Samadhi is different. But the place where he used to meet people. It is a place where this is exactly what you can. Prashantam amalam. Peaceful. Because such a person who lived through this experience of being there and established in that oneness, seeing nothing else. So what is said in the Upanishad and the scriptures, he practiced it. It has become a natural condition. Now, next 10 verses from 254 to 263, these 10 verses are going to be on beautiful pointers to meditation, plus few more verses which are not directly for meditation, but Gurudev writes from this verse onwards, from 254, 10 verses are to help the meditator to at his seat of contemplation. So when I was listening to Gurudev way back in 92, this particular section, 32 years back, can't believe that. It looks like yesterday. We used to sit in the front row, and when he used to teach this set of verses, it's glorious to look at him. And you would say, okay, every day before I come or as I sit down, you all should chant these 10 verses, right? These aids to meditation. And within 10 days, you should know it by heart. And when I come for Bhiksha, when I sit down for Bhiksha, all the brahmacharis should stand in front of me and chant. Don't just open and close your mouth. I know it's chanting. So this is such a beautiful set of verses. Gurudev used to love this. Jati niti kula gotra dhuragam.
Jati niti kula gotra duragam.
Nama rupa guna dosha varjitam.
Nama rupa guna dosha varjitam.
Desha kala vishayadi vartiyat.
Desha kala vishayati vartiyat.
Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani.
Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani.
Jati niti kula gotra dhuragam. Nama rupa guna dosha varjitam. Desha kala vishayati vartiyat. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Atma, yeah. What Brahma this is the function of the intellect, and feeling bhakti is the function of the contemplation is the function of heart. Function of mind, its function of what you understood, understanding what you felt. How beautiful. What you are feeling, you should understand. What you are understanding, you should feel. Both. intellect understands and mind feels. Very often, people who are intellectual may understand but may not feel for it. Or somebody will have a lot of feeling, but they never understand. They don't use the intellect to understand it. Most people who go to religious places, worship and do all the rituals, all the various puja, etc., they don't attempt to understand. Some people say, if I start inquiring and understanding Bhagavan, I will lose the feeling. Some people are afraid. No, मैं bhakti, bas, don't ask me to inquire upon that. Bhagavan hai, rehne do. So they just try to avoid understanding it. Those people who are understanding, I don't need to, do any kind of such upachara and all. Both are necessary. That's why Gurudev was also a combination of both. That understanding, that's why he says, feelingful understanding or understandingly feeling is bhavana, contemplation. So the word bhavana does not have any direct meaning in English. उसका भाव ऐसा है, हिंदी में उसका भाव, maybe attitude, maybe use it for attitude. उसका ऐसा भाव है, right? I do not know. ऐसा भावना मत रखो, meaning don't have this kind of an attitude. That's what we use it for, right? Huh? Bhavana. ऐसा भावना मत रखो, meaning don't have this kind of an attitude. तो भाव से करो, then it makes changes, right? So do it with feeling. So there it is different. So in Sanskrit, bhavana word means bhavaya. Instruction is bhavaya. Here in this context, it means meditate, contemplate. But what does it mean? Bhavaya means not sochna, not thinking, but feel. There's a feeling, but not deprived of understanding. Not just understanding, deprived of feeling. So आप कृष्ण मूर्ति को देखते हो, भगवान form you're looking at it, and you look at him not as, as Gurudev would say, blue boy of Vrindavan. You will call the blue boy of Vrindavan. But that blue boy of Vrindavan is not just a young teenager running around, but he's Paramatma. Loka Guru. Bhagavad Gita, the groundbreaking knowledge he gave. So you look at him with such a respect. But at the same time, you love that. You love that Bhagavan, who made everybody happy when he was there. Not only by giving knowledge, he made everybody understand, but at the same time, created that such a beautiful emotion for God. See, that's the difference between philosophy, the Western philosophy, and the religious bent associated with that philosophy. Western philosophy is an abstract idea. They don't bring God into the picture at all in philosophy. Whereas theosophy, if you take, is about God. But whereas the combination of these two, intellectual understanding of the absolute abstract reality and make it personal, that is where religion plays a very important role. You have to personalize the abstract truth. Then only the love will come. Otherwise, it will look like Sat. Sat is what? It is an imperceptible, abstract presence. What is there to love about it? But when you realize that Sat, that Paramatma is the one who makes everything possible. It is not a mute existence. It is existence with its glorious dimensions. Then you realize how every being is connected. Everything is related. How he makes the whole thing come together. That Ishwar mein wo bhakti, not by just philosophical understanding, but that's why he says that as understandingly feeling. So not merely understand the sacred text which any professor can, and not merely feel which any pure purblind man can, but within yourself try to feel what you have understood and to understand what your own strange feelings confirm. Thus, contemplate constantly, meditate in your heart that Brahman I am. Contemplate steadily upon it. Any amount of study will not help you. Come to apprehend it as your own innermost self, that Brahman art thou. So, this, therefore, that's Bhavaya Atmani Brahma Tattvam is Asi iti. And what is that Brahman? It is Jati, Niti, Kula, Gotra, Durakam. Brahman being neuter, then everything will be neuter. Okay. Duragam, Duram Gachati, meaning it is far away. Far away from what? It is not having any Jati. It is not a Manushya Jati, Mruga Jati, Pakshi Jati, or Brahmana Jati, Kshatriya Jati, Vaishya Jati, Shudra Jati. Jati means, here it will be understood as caste. All these people should read this. They are talking about caste. Look at how Shankaracharya writes this. There is no caste. Jati, na jati asya, na kulam. Niti means to lead. Niti means that which is having in the form of any particular niti here actually means that which leads. Ni nayati. Niti is to conduct. Niti means certain observations, certain niyamas, traditions. None of those belong to it. So it is not having any jati, niti, kula, family. It does not belong to any particular kulam, their family tradition. Gotra. It does not belong to any gotra. Gotra means, basically in Hinduism or Hindu culture, you have the concept of belonging to a particular rishi. So that's why when you go to a temple, they will ask what gotra. I don't know, in north they will not ask, but in south they do. North they don't have.
They do when you do puja.
Gotra.
Not other.
Gotra must be there.
Yes.
Shwamitra or Bharadwaja and many others are there. It is said in the past, in the ancient past, go means cow, basically. And the rishis and munis, when they were doing their rituals, the main ingredient for any ritual is ghee. Because oil they were not using, ghee only they were using for the rituals. And for any prasad they were using milk. Milk and milk products like rice mixed with milk, etc. And also for the sustaining the fire, they are using cow dung. To clean up the place, for cleaning the place, antiseptic or anti, what do you call that? So to clean up the place completely, they were using cow dung as the means to clean up the entire place, so that the insects won't come in or disturb the thing, etc. And even when they are doing any kind of a ritual, the place is completely washed with the cow dung water, so that it is become, very clean and pure. Antibacterial also, correct. So now cow becomes a very important part of the ritual. That's why this very, the word holy cow, definitely it has a reason. So they had large amount of cows, because the ashram vasis also will have to have their regular milk consumption. That is only direct source of protein and all that. They always had a mark on the cows, so that in the next ashrama or another rishi having his own set of cows should not mix up. So every cow is marked. It belonged to this particular Rishi. So it is said that the people who were managing also had certain marks on them. They belong to this particular set of cows, or this set of cows belong to them. Therefore, that particular family or tribe which is managing the set of the domestic animals, they are given the Gotra. So you belong to Vishwamitra Gotra. You belong to Bharadwaja Gotra. You belong to Kaundanya Gotra. So then it continued. The tribes then became citizens of the culture, they created cities, etc. But the original source from where they came, which tribe they came from, that is still marked. That's why you need to know which tribe you belong to. So that's why I tell you, you belong to this Gotra. They ask the question, what is the Gotra you belong to? But here, Brahman does not have any Gotram there. That's why I say, Jati Niti Kula Gotra Dhurakam. It is away, far away and beyond any Jati, any kind of caste, Niti or creed, and Kula, family, Gotra, lineage. And it does not even have Nama Rupa Guna. नाम नहीं है उसका, रूप नहीं है, गुण नहीं है, name is not there, form is not there, quality is not there. Dosha, any kind of defect is also not there. Nama Rupa Guna Dosha Varjitam. Varjitam, devoid of name, form, quality, and all the defects. Desha Kala Vishaya Adivartiyat. Adivartin means surpassing. It surpasses, goes beyond time, space, time, and objects. Like space. Space does not have a particular place. It does not condition itself in time. It does not condition itself in particular object. Yet, all this, what is that? Yat jati niti kula gotra dorakam, yat nama rupa guna dosha varjitam, yat deshakala vishaya adivarti, tat tomasi. Brahman tomasi. That is what you are. So when one is sitting and meditating in this, with using this particular verse, मुझे जाति नहीं है, कुल नहीं है, नीति नहीं है, Gotra bhi in me, because for me it is not there. I do not have any name, no form, no qualities, and no defects. I do not belong to particular space or time or object. See, otherwise people do not know what to think during the sit for meditation. This is a beautiful aid. So this way you think, who are you? I am not belong to human or Brahmin or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra. Not that I belong to this family, this caste, this creed. None of these belong to me. This will all belong to the body. The body only has got all this. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, what is it? Physical bodies. None of this belong to me. And the physical body has got Nama and Rupa. And it also only got, my individual personality only has got guna and all the doshas of karma. And I do not belong to any particular space or time, for the soul has no place or time. Vishaya adivartya, the beyond any every object. That Brahman aham iti bhavaya. Atmani bhavaya. So this is such a beautiful, even if you, and you see, basically when you either chant or hear this being chanted, if you know the meaning, otherwise you just memorize and chant, it is no meaning. It is only musical effect. It should be contemplated. Yes, this Brahman I am, which is beyond jati, niti, kula, gotra, nama, rupa, guna, dosha, desha, kala, vishaya. Continuing, one more we see. Yat param sagala vaga gocharam.
Yatparam sakala vaga gocharam.
Gocharam bimala bodha chakshushah.
Gocharam vimala bodha chakshushaha.
Shuddha chit ghana manadi vastu yat.
Shuddha chit ganamanadi vastu yad.
Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani.
Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani.
Yat param sagala bhaga gocharam. Gocharam bimala bodha chakshushah. Shuddha chit ganamanadi vastu yat. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Yat param, that which is supreme, no doubt, and sagala vag agocharam. It is beyond the comprehension of speech, which is said yattadadreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshusotram tadapanipadam nityam vibham sarvagatam susukshmam yadbhutayonim paripashyanti dhiraha. So here it is yato vacho nivartante, where the speech returns, cannot comprehend it. Agocharam sakalavad agocharam Upanishad bihi api lakshana vritya pradibhadyamanatvat. Even Upanishad can only indicate it. It can only indicate. And the other day also was telling, nobody can give you moksha. If somebody says, I'll give you moksha, stay far away from that person. Because I cannot give you what you already you. दे सकता हूं. I will make you human. I'll make you a living being. I'm already one. So what I'm already cannot be given to me. Only thing you can do is, if I have forgotten, you can remind me. Like a person, if you forgot whatever he is or she is, then you can remind that person. The story Gurudev used to say, a boy, a prince actually, he was lost during a war that happened in the particular country, and the king was fighting the war, and everybody was, either and thither, everybody is gone here and there. The queen was killed. The king was absconding. Child was taken away by somebody. Then later on, the king somehow gathered his power and retinue soldiers and came back and defeated the enemy and re-established the kingdom. Of course, he felt very bad about losing his wife, queen. But he was so particular about to get back his son, because he's a heir, he's next in to be ruling the kingdom. So he did not know what to do and where to go for. But only thing he would remember is a particular birthmark. So he told one of his very confident minister, said, look for this mark of this boy. He's actually a prince, but don't tell him. So then Mantri did not reveal the reason, but he sent some soldiers to find out this boy. I want to know where this boy is. So they started to rush, go into the city and look for here, there and everywhere. And finally they found him to be a, what do you call him? Vagabond. Vagabond, right? Vagabond? Vagabond, right? So he is like a recluse, was moving about, not doing any work, but man of such, bright features, but, because of his long life like that of a recluse, was wearing, some very dirty clothes and moving about, sometimes begging, sometimes doing odd works. So the soldiers got hold of him. He did not know what he did. I didn't do anything wrong. Why are you? I'm not stealing. So he brought to the king, to the minister. The minister looked at him. I said, what are you doing? I don't do anything. But you are a young man. You should do something. And I don't have any skill. Nobody taught me anything. So we'll teach you. So they made the minister gave him proper place and then some food and then dress and all that. Now you join the army. I'm not interested, he said. I said, you're interested or not, you are caught now. You are prisoned now. Why? I didn't do anything. Now, whatever it is, we have decided to train you for being an army person. So he was trained. Meanwhile, the minister, as he was training him to become a good soldier, he became basically a Kshatriya. So he was able to pick up his vasanas, was able to, because his DNA works, right? So he became a very good warrior with fine ability to fight. After some months of training, he was brought to the king. We have appointed a new commander for new soldier, and he seems to be doing well, and he can demonstrate to you, and he demonstrated his skills. And I said, oh, such a young man, make him as a commander. So then the old commander was given his retirement, and then this boy was made. And all that, when he went on rank, on one rank to another rank, to over a period of few years, he became a, general, army general. So then, one day the minister said, we prepared him because we want to tell you, this is your boy. So then finally, when the king came to know about that, he was so overthrilled. Why didn't you tell me before? No, I don't want to spoil him. Because if you tell him early by, out of emotion, then you would not be trained, right? You would just take it for granted. So anyway, my kingdom, why should I do anything? Now that he is an army general, he knows what to do. He's trained to be a one. So finally, one day when the king called him and said, you're doing very well. I'm so happy about it. I want to give the kingdom to you because I do not have anybody to take over. But I cannot do this because I'm only an army general. Then he says, not only that, you are my son. So he was overwhelmed with emotion. And he realized that even though he, as a commander, etc., he was working there or doing things, even at that time also he was only son of the king only. He did not know. Now he knows. The whole thing changed, right? His perception changed. Now he one day said, I would like to go back to the place where I used to live with my friends, Begavans. I want to just meet them. And the king said, you better come back, okay? Now he went back to his friends who were all in the same condition. And they were surprised to see him. Oh, what? They were first of all afraid to see him, because he came as an army general. They ran over. They said, hey, you guys come here. I'm yours. I am the same guy. Now I'm trained as an army general. No, he did not reveal that himself as a king, son, the prince. So, because otherwise they will never even look at him. So then he was just sitting with them, talking and eating and all that. Now, even as he was doing all that thing, he recalled the life he had before, and he laughed at himself. Even at that point, I was a prince only. Even at that point, I was the prince of the whole country. I had no idea at that time. Now that I know, when I look back, it was only laughing for me. How I was not knowing that I was begging in the street, looking for food, looking for a work. Now I can give work. I can command the entire place. At that time, upon ignorance, because of ignorance, I was living like this. So, That is why it is said, a person who realizes the truth thereafter, when he looks behind, looks back, he will only laugh at what he was doing. That's what I was trying to say here. That yet, that which is agocharam, sagalava gagocharam, it is beyond the description because it is you yourself. What king gave him was what already belonged to him. Moksha also, it is already ours, but we are not being informed correctly. Even informed, we are not convinced. We are not convinced that we have already moksha. We are still thinking that it will happen someday. But one who knows that it's already here, I am not claiming it. It's already there in front of me. I'm not claiming it because I am attached to so many other things. So that is why nobody can really give you moksha. They can only remind you. That's why it said Upanishad also only does the indicator. Upanishad abhi lakshana vridya pratibadyamanatvat. Only indicating. It's not saying that it is giving it to you or teaching you. Even teaching is to remind. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.